Welcome, one and all, to another exciting episode of JJW Sports Chat. I am Will the Thrill and my tag team partner.
Just Josh. Here we are, another week. Let's go. I figured with playoffs starting next week, pretty much, that kind of be the focus with the NBA and NHL. Talking about playoff spots.
Playoffs? Playoffs? Can't even win a game and we talk about playoffs.
Tell you the truth, I don't want to talk about playoffs, but that's what's about to happen. So figured we probably should.
I thought your team is doing good. Your Detroit Red Wings.
No, we're out of the playoffs, sir.
Oh wow, that shows how much I was paying attention. I thought y'all were like one of the top teams.
We were.
Colorado was running it.
We were at the top of our division until the Olympic break, and then just like we do every year after the All-Star break, we get injuries or we just fall apart. So with that, we have kind of moved out of the playoffs. But we'll get into that when I get into all that more. Before we get into that, NFL, not much going on off season. There is some free agency signing and some stuff, but it's too much to keep up with right now.
Yeah.
But I will say this, because we did talk about it last week. The Seahawks wide receiver, I'm not even gonna say his name and butcher it. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Is no longer the highest paid wide receiver in history.
No. Oh, do tell. Who is it?
The Rams signed, and I'm gonna butcher his name because it's a weird name too. I know it begins. I think his last name begins with an N. I believe.
I thought it started with a P.
Maybe it is a P, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's their number one receiver.
Yes, and they just signed him to a big contract, or getting ready to. I don't know if he actually signed it yet, but I read it yesterday. They said they were finishing up the deal, so I don't know if he signed today or not. I did not see anything updating it, so.
Interesting.
I just figured since that's a big thing, that's something to touch on.
That is something big. That is big. I will give you that. Because money makes the world go round. But if you produce, then you will be getting paid. I have no problem with that for you to get your money.
And both of them definitely produce.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So they definitely deserve what they're getting. So can't be mad at that.
No.
Now we'll talk about baseball next before we get into the other stuff because it's playoffs and stuff. There'll be a lot to talk about. Baseball just started, but only like 4 or 5 games for most teams.
Right.
I will say, since for our local team, the Phillies are not looking good starting out. They're 1-3.
Key word that you said. Now, I'm glad you said this because
starting out.
Yes, starting out. People, do not hit the panic button. It's only 4 games right now. They still got a long season. Baseball is one of the longest seasons in history. Throughout history. 162 games. Please, calm down. A loss, yes, it's early. But if you know how the Phillies are, okay, they are a roller coaster. If they start off good, mid-season, yeah, we start panicking, freaking out because they're starting to rack up the losses then. And then by late August, early September, they're gearing it back up. And then they take it into the postseason October. So the fact that they're struggling now is technically a good sign. Because that means when they start getting their stuff together, going up the roller coaster, and then you know that thrilling, yeah, they're going to be fine. That's fine. That means they're going to bounce back up, and we're going to be all hope. Oh, this is World Series game. I hate saying that early too, but we got time. Chill, relax, get a massage, relax. You need to calm down. The season's early. No team has ever gone 162-0. We'll be all right.
Especially in baseball with so many games. I see panicking in football because they only play so many games.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
But even that, you're not going to win every game, so don't panic over the first loss. And that's for all fan bases. It happens. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's just starting out.
It gives you a headache, man. It's like heart attack central. Oh, we lost Josh's voice. Click.
No. I had my hand in the way. You're fine.
Oh.
I was kind of talking to myself. I wasn't actually saying it.
Oh. One way or another.
Yeah, so we're not, like I said, we're not going to deep dive into baseball now. I just wanted to touch on our local. That it is it's a bad start, but like he just said, play 162. And nowhere near, didn't even hit the middle of the season. Well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Came in and said hi.
Hi.
But yeah, like I said, I don't watch baseball like that, and I haven't in the early 90s. But even I know, especially with the Phillies, they are known for having bad starts, getting hot, getting cold, getting hot. But to tell you the truth, the way they've done it has actually worked out because you want to be hot at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So the cold start, it kind of puts you behind the 8 ball to start, but you hope that hot comes in, and that's when you really want hot.
And it will, because like I said, I mean, if you're a true Phillies fan, as much as you say you are, when they struggle in the beginning, they normally get their act together by at least May and June. They struggle in July and pick it back up in August.
In September, yep.
In September. That's when you really want the team doing extremely well. And yes, you got to keep in mind, a lot of these players are older. I mean, we do have some good, well-known players. So a lot of those players don't play every day. You don't have everyday baseball players anymore.
Not just that. Even though they just had the spring training, a lot of them don't play every game. Just like in any sport, it's preseason. So they're still trying to gel. Some of them are still trying to get in the groove and get back into the swing of things. Give them time. And I'm only saying, and I only bring that up because I've seen stuff already about people talking about it.
Yeah.
On social media and stuff. So I'm like, I have to say something.
And we see it all the time. Like, I mean, even San Francisco, they just got their first win.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, can't go by early, especially in baseball. Like we said, so many games. Yeah. Now, if they go and win, if it ends up being like, right now, if they end up being like 1-20, okay, then you start panicking. Then you start saying, okay, something's got to change. 1-3 for opening weekend where they played 4 games in a matter of like 5 days, not even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that to start the season, that's a lot.
Yep.
That's a lot.
You're preaching to the choir.
So everyone just hang in there. Let them do their thing. They'll find it.
Yeah. Josh, how many games is left in the NHL?
Give or take, because not everyone's played the same amount. Give or take about 7.
You said about 7?
Yeah, everyone has about 74 to 75 games played. play 82. So that's why I say about 7, depending on, because some teams have played 73 games, some have played 70, played 75. They're all right there in the same amount, close to the same amount. So yeah, at most 9.
Okay. That sounds
Actually, there's 2 teams that has 10 games, Kraken and Sharks. Both at 70. They probably have a jam-packed week coming. They're probably playing like 6 games, 5 nights, even though that's not possible. You know what I mean? They're probably playing like every night or every rest of the week. Since we are talking about hockey, we will jump NHL. Like we were saying, coming down to the wire the last few games. So right now, looking at it, in the East, you get the Lightning, Sabres, and the Hurricanes all tied first with 98. Then you get the Canadiens, the Bruins, the Penguins. Hey!
and it's funny because it's the time when you said something about the Penguins.
And the Islanders would all make, if it started today, would make the playoffs. Now, like I said, there's some games left. Blue Jackets and the Flyers are right on the outside.
Yeah.
Red Wings would need Ottawa and the Bruins like lose a bunch of games and us to win the rest of our games. Pretty much out. But the Flyers need the Blue Jackets to keep falling like they have been the last few weeks. The game Flyers on the winning streak. But they would also need the Islanders to keep they just lost. And the Flyers to keep winning the playoffs.
I just think it's funny because when it's like when I hear the Islanders, I'm like, I remember when that team stunk. And they've been on a tear lately for the past several years.
Yeah, the last few years they've been actually pretty good, yeah. Been right on the cusp of making the playoffs most years. Like,
okay.
Miss it.
So the last regular season game is the 16th of April.
About a week and a half.
Yeah.
Give or take. That's why I said it's coming up in about a week or so. About a week to 2 weeks.
About 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah. My math is off.
I can say the first is tomorrow, so it's only 16 days away. That's a little over 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. I was just looking at it.
All right. Oh, pardon me. Oh. So now we'll move out west, where they're technically the only 2 teams in the NHL that have completely clinched playoff position are the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. Both neck and neck. Colorado, of course, has 108 Stars with 100 neck and neck. So in the West, you get the Avalanche, the Stars, Wild, Ducks, Oilers, Golden Knights, the Wild.
No, you forgot Utah. Utah has 82 points.
No, the Mammoth. Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean Wild. I meant Mammoth. I keep seeing the friggin' logo.
I think that's funny.
Because they're right on top of each other.
Yeah.
Them having a team, yeah. And then the Golden Knights also have 82, so they're right there on the cusp. The West is a little bit more set than the East.
Like it's more clean cut.
Yeah.
Good Lord, the the Canucks are horrible.
Yeah, that's why Quinn
They fired their
Yeah.
coach.
well, that and Quinn Hughes got out of there earlier in the season and went to Minnesota and is having one of the best seasons ever for any defense. I think he's broken like 2 records. Since being with Minnesota, with something with most assists after getting traded to a team, and I think something else with a defense. Which is crazy. But I'm a big Quinn Hughes fan. I think best defenseman in the league. So I'm glad to see him. No, I'm glad to see him somewhere where he's able to produce and feels comfortable and can show his talent. Not that saying he didn't do in Vancouver, but really letting loose since went to Minnesota. 7, 8. So pretty much all games are big games now going. Especially in NHL.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go over big game. Say big, but fly for local.
Well, Flyers play tonight, don't they?
Yes, they are actually playing right now.
Yep, they're playing at Washington.
Yes.
And that game is actually on ESPN. ESPN Plus. They get you.
So the app. You have to have the app.
You got to have the app.
Which I do. Because I got it for WWE.
Well, I mean, I don't know if everybody there has one. Just let me know.
I'm just saying I have it, so I could watch it. Not a Flyers fan. Especially because Detroit. Also, I could probably watch that. They're playing Pittsburgh.
They're playing
in Pittsburgh. In
Pittsburgh.
So both PA teams are away. Oh, no, Pittsburgh's home, I mean. Pittsburgh's home and Philly's away.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's home taking on your team, and they're already up 1-0.
And I don't. So yeah, NHL is gonna be fun to watch. Not that I'll be having.
Oh wow! I didn't know the Rangers were eliminated like that.
Yes, Rangers. Well, they traded Panarin away at the trade deadline, around the trade deadline, which was one of their top scorers.
Yep. In other words, they traded somebody that was supposed to help them and get rid of assets to get access.
Yeah, they have other good players to build around. He's one of the older players with a contract. It's time to just the way of sports nowadays.
So let me ask you this, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
You being a hockey fan.
Yep.
Do you, based off the standings this season alone, do you think the balance really switched up? Like the dynamic of how each team seems more evenly out compared to the past between the East and the West?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely even more out now. Now looking at just the standings right now and with the playoff things, with the way the West is kind of or
like it's clean cut just about for the 1 and 2.
Yeah, for the West, yeah. The East is a little bit more fighting, and I don't think that really has. I'm trying to see how to explain how I without like
watch your tone.
Without like, and I get what you're saying. You're trying to say about like with the salary cap and stuff like that.
No, yes. I'm not yet. Well, you threw that in there. I wasn't thinking it. I was just thinking like how in other sports, you can tell from a juggernaut team compared to this. And to me, looking at the NHL standings alone, it is perfectly balanced.
Yeah. Well, with the way they've done their salary cap, which is why I love their salary cap and why whenever we talk about it, I bring it up. It is very balanced to make it so that one team cannot have like Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Leon Draisaitl, Ovechkin. You get what I mean? Like they can't build a super
A
team.
super team like how basketball. That's what basketball's mistake was.
Or even how the NHL was back in the day, how Detroit used to do it, just as a team, like as an example. In the 90s, before they put it in, Detroit every year bought every free agent that they could. And then at trade deadline, traded away trades and like no name players for all stars to keep winning try to win a Stanley Cup.
But the thing is, the players that they signed were, of course, well-known names, but those players took pay cuts to get to Detroit. It wasn't like Detroit asking through these huge amounts of money. And then, like you said about the trades, they were getting rid of some of their assets because they're focused on win now, worry about it later.
Yes and no with the money. Some did, some did not. Some players like Brett Hall got paid very, very well to come to Detroit.
You're talking about Brett Hall, who was still, yes, I'm not going to say he was young, but his name alone.
Dude, he played his last like 2 years there. He was about to retire. He went there to try to win a cup.
But it's his name. It's his name. That's just like Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, but what I'm saying, Brett Hall was still a beast when he came. He was towards the end of his career.
But he was still. It's just like for Philly with the Jeremy Roenick. Jeremy Roenick was still able to.
But Roenick came and did more like years here. He did like 5+. Didn't he end up doing like 5 years or so here? Brett Hall did 2 years and was gone. He came to win a cup and left.
And he got the cup. Yeah,
we got a cup with him there. We got a cup with him there. I had to remember that.
Hey, I liked Brett Hall because he was kind of the reasons why I liked the Blues.
But you also look, we brought in people like Brad Richards that was known for Tampa Bay for years. We brought him in just as a role player to make a playoff push.
Yep.
When they didn't have the salary cap, Detroit was not afraid to spend money at the trade deadline to get these big names that didn't have to be big names anymore. They could just come in and be role players and just put up some goals, and that's all we needed. To fit in with an all-star team already, because we had Stevie Y, we had Fedorov, we had Lindstrom, we had Chelios, we had Shanahan, we had Arthur. We had players, and we just kept bringing in more players to make us better. I'm not hating it because it was my team.
I'm about to say, you better not be hating it. You should be appreciated.
But I like the salary cap because as a Detroit fan, it was fun to watch because it was my team spending money. But for everybody else, it wasn't fun. And as a fan of all hockey, it was not fun.
I guess I just didn't care too much because, I mean, I liked hockey. And like I said, it took a video game really for me to get into hockey.
Mm-hmm.
But as you knew, I do know several other fans. To me, being in the a kid in the 90s who was watching all this, it was fun and entertaining to me because you had players who really played the game physical, but with the love of the game as well.
No, that way I loved watching hockey. But as a fan of wanting to see like good games, all like even games, it didn't happen a lot in the 90s at times, especially in the second half of the season.
Right.
Teams like Detroit were buying everybody up and becoming a super team and just destroying people, and they were still sitting half their team half the time. And to be able to destroy people, they had so many good players that they could.
I would say it wasn't until the late 90s when things seemed somewhat decent.
I believe the salary cap started in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So,
because it's like
you start rolling it out.
Like, because the Legion of Doom, for those who, Eric Lindros,
early mid
John LeClaire, Michael Renberg, Mark Recchi. was still on the team. Sure, I think Eric Desjardins was also on that team. Brenda Moore was on his way. I think he played like one or two more seasons when that started.
No, he was
before
there. He was there for a while with the league.
Right.
He didn't go to Carolina until they became an expansion team.
Yeah.
So a couple years after their expansion, then he went to Carolina, and he finished his career there. And then
where he got his cup at.
And now coaches and won a cup as a coach.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Maybe not.
No.
Well, he went, but they didn't win.
They didn't go with him, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, but he's still there, so he's a great coach, great player, great coach. But yeah, in the 90s, there you had, like I said, without the salary cap and hockey, there was a few teams that dominated. You had the Rangers that was always strong, Detroit, Colorado once they became a team.
Detroit basketball.
Once Winnipeg went there, once Winnipeg went to Colorado, they became a powerhouse. But yeah, your powerhouse.
You really think Colorado? Because I'm telling you, Colorado and Detroit to me was like the rivalry of all rivalries at that time.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because they were both in the West, so they were your two big, they were your powerhouses in the West. And your East were usually the Rangers and New Jersey in the 90s. That's when you had Marty and Niedermeyer and Stevens and Elias and Gomez and all them down there, and they were winning cups.
Yeah.
Or at least making it, because they Flyers did good there because they went and they lost to Detroit.
Yeah.
We swept them, brought out them brooms.
Oh, stop it. It's just a goal to even make it there.
Oh, I will forever make fun of that.
Stop the madness.
But hey, I could get really into it and really tear the Flyers.
No, we're not going to go get deep into it.
But yeah, I believe looking at, because you said hockey, looking at hockey, I love the way it is now and how easy it is. And with the new rule they put in with this year, which we talked about before, with how you can't rest your players, and in playoffs, each game your salary cap has to be a certain thing. I love that. Now that's going to make the playoffs even better, so that people can't do what Tampa Bay's been doing. There's resting Kucherov and Stamkos before he left for the end of the season, but they still sign like two big names that are just as good, so it's like they're not even missing. And then you have all four of them come playoffs playing, and it's like, well, now they got a powerhouse for the playoffs. And this is what I like about the NHL is they see that, saw it becoming a problem.
They fixed it.
They're saying, all right, let's make a rule. Let's change it. Stop, nip this in the butt before it really gets out of hand in every team. Which a lot of teams were starting to like catch on and really start doing. So I give them props from the player side and the league side of coming together and being like, all right, let's stop this. Let's keep it so it's even fair game come playoffs. So that wraps up hockey, unless you have any more questions or anything you want to add to it.
No.
More to add.
No.
Well, I will throw that question back at you since you asked me, how do you? And I know you don't really watch hockey, but just in general.
Okay. What's the question?
The same question you asked me about how do you feel about the league with the how close they are? Do you think it's even balanced?
I looking at the standings and everything, I love it because now, like, if you want to make it there, you're going to see who's going to try their hardest to make it there. And it's not just like, God, man, we're this close. At least let's make sure we can still fill up the seats. And no, the players are going to do what they can because, you get that bonus, you make it to the playoffs. So if it's about money, you're doing that. I'm not really worried about the draft. And that's the one thing I really do appreciate with hockey over my favorite sport, NBA. NBA to me is an embarrassment on so many levels. I'm going to say it. As a $1 billion company, yeah, I'm embarrassed, and I hope someone writes it down, sends it away, and say it. Because it's ridiculous how you have teams tanking, not even trying. And yes, I'm going to say it. Teams not even trying to improve your team. You're just worried about, oh, this is going to be the hottest draft class, and we're going to try to focus on that for our future. No, what about the here and now? And for the people, especially with everything prices going up and up and up, not everyone's going to pay their money for their ticket to see a team tank. Some teams are getting penalized for it, but yet now teams are going around it by playing the starters and everything. And then when it comes like, oh, whoa, we're too high up, let's bench our starters and we'll play everybody from the deepest bench out there. And then they lose the game. As a fan, and if I was able to afford those tickets, I would be I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed because, as a fan of Philadelphia, I haven't been to a Sixers game in God knows how long. Do I want to go? Oh, yes, I do. I want to go and see Maxey play. But I said this to myself. I want to go when Embiid is playing. Now that he's playing, I got a trip I'm saving up for. So I'm not able to jump on the next game to go and see Joel Embiid play because that's who I want to see. I want to see the guy who carried this franchise for so long. And that's sad that I have to say it like that, but in playoffs, and now they're fighting for a playoff spot just to keep their season going before they say it's a failed season. Yes, injuries is part of it. Now, to circle back around, sorry, because I got off topic talking about the NBA situation. Let me get back to your question, Josh. To me, to see the Flyers, actually, I'm going to go right back to that since I was looking at it. The Flyers, Detroit Red Wings, the Ottawa Senators, and the Blue Jackets. That's 4 teams. Now, there's a 3-way tie with 86 points to still fight to get into the playoffs. The 88 points, Columbus Blue Jackets. I only have a 2-point lead over those other teams. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, and Blue Jackets are the 8th seed.
Yep.
So to me, a win would actually give the Flyers a boost. A win for Detroit will give them a boost to get into that spot since they do have a lead ahead of the Flyers based off points because they have more. Oh no.
No, actually, right now I think they would take us, especially
they would take the spot over the Red Wings,
especially because I think they beat us 2 out of 3 times this year because they just beat us.
Right, but the thing too is, Josh, you guys, the Flyers have more overtime losses, so that is why Detroit is ahead of the Flyers right now.
Yes, because we have more points because of the way
because of how the point system works.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's why you guys hold the edge over us in the standings right now.
Yep.
Flyers have 12 overtime losses. You guys only have 8. So of course you're going to have more.
We have more wins.
More wins because of that. And you also have yeah, I said it right. Yay, Will's right about something.
But that's what, and that's one of the reasons I love hockey because it's always either the East or the West. One side or the other always has that good battle going down, fighting for the playoffs. That's fun to watch, and it changes. Right now, the West is kind of set. You kind of know who. There's a little bit of fighting to do, but not much. But the East.
The East is where it's at, especially from the top to bottom, because you're still trying to figure out who's going to be the 1 and 2 and the 3 seed because they both have 90.
No one's actually clinched their actual spot yet. They might have clinched a berth, but not the spot yet in the East. That's what's making that. That's why I'm saying, even though my team is kind of like on the lower end, out but not out. It's going to be so much fun to watch just everything because it's so tight. And that's what just makes hockey so much fun to me to watch and be a fan of, is that so many teams are always fighting. Such a fight. I love it.
It just, like you said, just makes it so much more enjoyable
Oh
to
yeah.
watch and enjoy it.
Yep. Definitely.
Um, but yeah, that's my feelings on that. It makes it exciting to actually watch.
Yes.
That's a big deal. I don't care what anyone says. That does make a big deal on just a small thing like that, especially if you're just a sports fan in general.
Yep.
You want to see people battling it out and give it their all.
That's and because how you're speaking about the battle, so like that's why I don't get why people love so lopsided. They always want their team to win like 10-0. And I'm just saying in all sports, not even just hockey. They always want them to blow it out. I'm sorry, blowouts aren't fun.
No.
I'd rather see that drawed out, grinding to the last second for that win. As in hockey, they say that grind, that old dog grind. That
Get that dog in you.
exactly. I love that. I love that fight. I love it coming down, and that's why hockey. Yeah, there's some blowout games, but most games, especially come playoffs, are so close.
Playoffs?
So close that it usually comes down to the like third period. Whoever can get a goal first is going to win. And to me, that is the best kind of hockey. I don't want to see high scoring all the time. Yeah, once in a while is fun, but not all the time. I'd rather that grind out, just smash mouth. Let's go. Last person with the ball, puck, whatever wins. Let's go. Which is hockey gives that to you, even the whole league. But so you answered the question. Why don't you go ahead and move on to your I can't forget about the NBA because their playoffs are coming soon too. They're about close to the same amount.
Yep. And for those who are wondering, I'm going to take a sidestep before I answer our next segment, which is the NBA. College, for those in the world who did ask about me and my bracket. My bracket is now fully busted because the team I had won the thing got eliminated on a turnover in the final seconds, and that was the Duke Blue Devils. No, I'm not a Duke fan. I respect their culture. But they were to me the favorites, and yeah, that's the nice thing about March Madness. You never know what can happen.
I think with the men, just about everybody's bracket got destroyed. The women's a different story, but I believe the men, just about anybody that I've seen or talked to that does it, bracket got busted.
Well, the women's one I have, see, Crystal, I do have a women's bracket as well. And their biggest task, so I'm kind of nervous because I did pick UConn to win the whole enchilada, but they're facing in the Final Four, which I do have them facing Carolina. Kind of threw me for it. Yeah. And Carolina's not a pushover team.
No, I'm not saying a pushover, but I think UConn comes out on top.
I mean, it's hard for me. It's hard for me because I am a Dawn Staley fan and always have been a fan of hers. So seeing her coaching, I always rooted for her. Even though she doesn't know who the hell I am, but that's fine. But yeah, so if my bracket does get busted against Dawn Staley, to me that's a win-win. Not like my bracket's free. Anybody can stay. They even have a second chance bracket for those who want to still do it. But yeah, I do it just for fun. It's just fun picking to see who wins and then get mad and frustrated when you don't get it that far.
But since we did mention Crystal, and she's probably not watching because I believe busy doing her thing, being a mom, doing her thing. But I'd like, because she won't be at work tomorrow. But happy birthday!
Happy birthday! from us here, we're saying
Yep.
happy birthday to you.
Yep. Happy birthday. Just since we were mentioning her. But go ahead with your NBA.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as playoffs is coming up, I want to say playoffs for the NBA is about the same time as NHL, as I want to say. So I'm going to estimate and say it's going to be about maybe the 16th, could even be the 17th of April before playoffs start. Then you got the two play-in games on two. Yeah, I am right. It is two playoff games. For the play-in games for the seventh. Making sure I'm going to say this right. The 7th and 10th seeds to try to make it into those playoff spots. So you got a little bit of a time with that before you actually fully hit the playoffs. So I'm going to go from teams 1 through 6 right now, as if the playoffs did start today. Detroit still who clinched the playoff berth, 54-21, or is in the top seed, followed by the Boston Celtics, who happened to just lost not that long ago. So they're on a 1-game losing streak as well as Detroit. At 50-25 in second place. They're 4 games behind Detroit to be the number 1 seed. The Knicks, who also clinched a playoff berth, not clinched their division, but clinched a playoff berth, are sitting in third. They're 6 games behind Detroit. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in 4th, in a tight race, along with battling it out to get that 3rd spot against the Knicks for the 4th seed. The 5th seed is the Toronto Raptors, 11.5 games behind, and they're a half a game behind Atlanta, who's in the 6th seed. Now, the Sixers lost last night to the Miami Heat, 119-109. Wow, I'm impressed I remember that score. So, and yes, Embiid and George did play. It is the first loss since they returned into the lineup. So there's still hope. They are sitting in the 7th seed at 41-34. That's 2 games behind for the 6th seed, just to avoid the play-in game. So there's still several games left in the season. It's just a matter of hopefully Maxey gets healthy soon, so his productive can be help his team out. Because it'd be a shame that the Sixers, who were doing good when all 3 of them played until the injuries hit and the suspension, I'm not going to rule that out, kind of hurt them as well. So they do look promising. The Orlando Magic's now in the 8th seed. Miami Heat, who the Sixers lost to last night, are in the 9th seed. And the Hornets, out of all teams, is in the 10th seed. For those who do like Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Bucks are eliminated. So you know the Greek Freak is mad as possibly as all heck because he's a competitor. He wanted to be traded this season because he felt this team wasn't good enough to do it. And yeah, now you see 29 wins, 45 losses. Yeah, 24.5 games away from first place. So, yes, and the reason I'm pointing Milwaukee out is because he is a former MVP player. He also is a one of the top superstars in the NBA as of the past recent years. And yeah, it's a shame that, when you got players who love the game and play hard to win, yeah, it's frustrating. And the runners up, who were in the finals last season, yeah, they didn't do so good. Only 17 wins, and they're at the bottom. That's the Indiana Pacers. Heading to the West.
Before you go to the West,
Okay.
the play-in tournament, that's what it says in here, starts on the 14th.
The 14th.
And runs through the 17th. So
Okay.
there's 2 games on the 14th, 2 games on the 15th, and 2 games on the 17th. Play-in
So
tournament.
that means the season probably will end on the 12th. Because if you're talking about the playing games, those are separate.
Yes. The regular season ends on the 12th.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was somewhat close.
Yeah. Like I said, like I told you, they always start close. One usually starts a little bit before the other.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, Josh.
Yep.
So for the West, okay, and as mentioned, it's a battle for just the number 1 seed between the Oklahoma City Thunder, who ran the season throughout the entire season, finally is getting caught up by the San Antonio Spurs by 2.5 games. The Spurs are on a 9-game winning streak. Yes, you heard me right. 9-game winning streak. In their last 10, they're 9-1. So the alien, as he is called, Victor Wembanyama, the Frenchman, is even being nominated into the name of MVP, who's some of them were saying SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, for the MVP award. So it's kind of becoming a tight battle. Even James's name is kind of still being mentioned in it in a way. Speaking of them, the Lakers are in the 3rd spot once again. They bounce back, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. They are 10.5 games from trying to be first place, but as mentioned, they only got 2 weeks to try to hit that spot. But the Denver Nuggets are in 4th, Minnesota's in 5th, and the Rockets are in 6th. Now, if the play-in game happened today, it would be the Phoenix Suns, Clippers, and wow, they're just making it crystal clear that Portland and Golden State are the 2 teams in the play-in.
As of right now, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, PB, clinch playoff berth. So they did make the possibly the play-in, because they consider the play-in as part of the playoffs.
Yeah, they clinched their playoff.
Yeah. I was wondering what the PB meant, so it just threw me off, because the other 2 teams didn't, but they're in a better position, which was the Clippers and the Suns.
Yeah, they clinched the actual playoff berth. They don't have to do the play-in. They automatically are past the play.
No, they still do, because it's the 7 through 10. That's what I didn't understand.
No, I'm saying the Thunder and the Spurs.
Yeah. They don't have to play. That's about division.
That's why they're the only 2 that like clinch the thing. The rest are all still up for grabs of who does what.
Yeah. Yeah, clinched play in berth. Oh.
Yes.
Clinched play in berth, not clinched playoff berth. No,
yeah, it's not a playoff, it's play.
Different codes.
Yep, it's
so
play in
throw
berth.
me off.
Yeah.
Okay. And the teams that are eliminated: Memphis, Pelicans, Mavericks, Jazz, and Kings. So the number 1 pick really didn't do so much. Cooper Flag.
One person ain't gonna make
No.
that big of a change.
But you try.
Yeah.
So for the NBA tonight, that is actually at 8:00 for those who are interested on Peacock or NBC. You can catch the Houston Rockets host the New York Knicks. That's at 8:00, and then the 11:00 game on NBC and that happens if you're still up. You got the Portland Trail Blazers traveling to that beautiful arena in the Los Angeles Clippers that they paid all that money for tonight at 11 on NBC. So that's pretty much what I got for the NBA.
All right, since we're on basketball, about the WNBA, and it's nothing really going on because they just got their contract, all that stuff situated.
Yeah, they're actually preparing for the
free agency,
and then the draft, because as soon as March Madness is over, it will be the draft.
No, but what I wanted to say was the Fever have already sold out for season.
Because it's the return of Caitlin Clark.
But that there proves, and I know everyone's going to say it's only because it's Caitlin Clark, but other teams have also been selling out, and they might not have sold out all their tickets, but are high sellers also already Now that we know there's not a lockout. But that shows that they can draw. That there helps prove that people want to watch them. Even if it is Caitlin Clark, but people want to watch these players play. And I know, like I said, Caitlin Clark, I know that's part of it, but you still got to look at the league as what they're doing.
Yeah.
Selling out as a league, selling.
I also have a question too, because one of the MVPs, Aja Wilson, because the rumors is she's pregnant with Bam Adebayo's baby. So the question is about her season. Well, no, I shouldn't say about her season. Correction. How well the Aces, who are the defending champions, are going to do without her.
Well, I don't know if she's pregnant or not, but I'm reading this thing here, the New York Times, saying that she, and this is 30 minutes ago, is on her way to play for Team USA camp.
USA camp. I'm looking at that now too.
So I don't know if maybe their test came back, but I don't know. But as of right now, she's still playing, so see what happens.
Crazy. Ballin' pregnant. Power to her.
Hey, that's if she is pregnant. Maybe she's not. I don't know. We don't know yet. Not until they come out and say it officially. Don't assume nothing. Don't ever assume a woman's pregnant that will get killed. Don't ever ask a woman if she's pregnant.
One day, I know that rule.
You will die.
Yeah, I still want to at least make it to 50.
Will most likely die. Not a peaceful death. But that's all I have. Talked a lot with the playoffs and stuff. So
playoffs
and what we thought about the leagues, especially hockey and stuff like that. Like the question you brought up and we asked. Hey, another great show. Might as well wrap it up there. Once again, as always, hit the like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, as always. Okay, EO. Gotta do it right. I
just can't do those flips on my head and.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do that part of it. I can just do the emoji part that she does when she gets up. That we'd be rushing me to the hospital or something. Yeah. But as always, thanks for coming and hanging out. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace. We'll catch you next week. Thanks as always.